Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Daily Encouragement. My name is Lewis, and today I do truly want to be an encouragement to you. If you're not familiar with our channel, what we do is provide daily encouragement. It sounds silly to come at it that way, but it's what we do. We take a verse or two, or take an event of the day and find an applicable verse to kind of encourage you through the day. Honestly, this almost serves as like a video journal for me, but it's okay because I do believe in the end, the stuff I come across will actually be an encouragement to you. So I'm confident that that's what you'll get out of it. Today, we're going to be going out of First Peter chapter 5. 1 Peter 5, and we're going to do verses 5, 6, and 7. Now, maybe we get through all of the verses, maybe we don't, but the goal is going to be to try my best to be an encouragement to you with these verses. 1 Peter 5 says, "Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For God resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you." Now, typically we'll do one or two verses, but we try not to do too much more than that because try to keep these videos about 10 minutes, kind of a little quick hitter. So we may have to separate these over a couple days, but we'll do what we can. Now, let's start with verse number 5. "Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For God resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble." Now, one of the things that I look at and see from this verse is there is wisdom and learning from our elders. Now, here's the thing. Just because you're older doesn't mean that you have all this wisdom. It doesn't mean that you have all this intelligence. But what typically comes with age is experience. You've been through stuff. You've lived life. And so when it says submit yourselves unto the elder, it doesn't mean necessarily, okay, just do exactly what the older person says. You can be told stories and told instances from those folks, and you can learn from them. When I was a 23-year-old assistant manager of a grocery store, I knew that there were people that had more experience than me in doing the work as well as leading teams and dealing specific with overnights. Now, I would have been a fool to sit there and just be like, I know everything, because I was 23 years old. I think at times I was promoted based on my character and the fact that I always showed up to work, as opposed to, man, this guy's the manager that we need right now. And there were a lot of learning pains from it. And the times that I benefited was when I talked to those that were older than me. They learning some basic stuff, basic things in life. Not to mention, I was 23. I was single. I didn't have a family. And so I was living alone. So properly having a schedule and adhering to the schedule and learning to deal with people and stuff, all those things. And I learned from older folks. In fact, the my overall store director at the time, who I still know today, many years later. In fact, ironically enough, we work in the same place now. He's on a part-time schedule, just kind of living and enjoying retirement. But one of the things I got to tell him it's been about a month ago, the thing I got to tell him was how much I appreciated some of just the basic things that he taught me through his attitude and demeanor that had nothing to do with the grocery store, but had everything to do with learning to work under authority and learning to deal with the people underneath you, especially when your job is, requesting something that you don't want to do. So that's the idea I get there. Submit yourselves to the elder. Be willing to learn. And it says, yea, all of you be subject one to another. Now, you know what that means? There are younger people that'll know things that can help you out too. I'll use a current example. Right now, my three teenage boys are in a youth group, and in that youth group, they have a younger man serving as a youth director, a youth leader. Now, he's had a different life experiences than the stuff that I dealt with in my life, and I've been incredibly impressed with his interaction with the youth, um, his knowledge, and the things along that line. And you know, there are times when we went to camp last year we went for the summertime, and he drove, and I was one of the adults along with his wife as well. And you know, there were times where I just went along with things that he had suggested because they were like, this seems like a really good suggestion. You know, he knows what he's doing here, and we'll just go with it. Why why try to um, reinvent the wheel, or uh, try to do things that maybe have never been done before? So why should I take those chances? So submitting yourselves one to another, and here's the key part: and be clothed with humility. You know, what's interesting is that word humility talks about humbleness of your mind, deciding in your mind. In fact, I saw this was incredible in the Strong's Concordance, which is like the dictionary of the Bible. One of the definitions it gave, actually, I'll give you the three it gave. It said the having a humble opinion of oneself. It said modesty, humility, lowliness of mind. But my favorite, a deep sense of one's moral littleness, understanding who you are. I gave you the stock crew illustration. Understanding I was 23 years old, and I'd been in the grocery business less than 2 years, and now I was responsible for a multi-million dollar sales store. And I didn't have all the answers, and I was going to need help. Understanding that humility, being willing to say, I don't know, or, can I, do you have any recommendations? As a, um, as a supervisor, and I'm not currently a supervisor, but when I was in my current company, one of the things I remember being tasked with is leading a team for the purpose of engaging the department. And one of the things I had to realize was I didn't have all the answers. And there were times I had to depend on the teammate that I had under my leadership and be like, hey, what do you think about this? What are some ideas you have? And understanding that they had some really sharp ideas. And as the group grew and as they succeeded, it was because I let the people, I say let them because I was the leader of the group, I let them spread their wings and do what they could. And in the end, when someone said, man, you guys did a great job, I'd be like, you need to go talk to so and so. Let them know, because um, that was all of them. And if they couldn't, then I would pass that along to them. I'd be like, hey, so and so thinks you did really good, and I agree with them. Be clothed with humility. And here's the best part: for God resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble. You know, when there's times that when you need help and you know you're struggling, why do we fight it? Why do we sit there? We ask God for stuff, and then we sit and think so highly of ourselves, and we kind of mess up. That's why He gives grace to the humble. That word resist is a verb. It's it's to oppose one's self. For God resists the proud. He's like, no, no. Is that you today? Are you proud? Showing one's self above others, overtopping, conspicuous above others, preeminent, with an overweening estimate of one's means or merits, despising others or even treating them with contempt. haughty. That's that word, proud. Are you struggling with that today? Are you or I having that difficulty today? So here's the challenge for you. Are you walking around proud or are you walking around humble? Are you listening to others and do you show the humility to others, or you can't be told anything? Remember chapter 5, verse 5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. Remember that phrase. For God resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us today. Looking forward, and we will continue Hebrews, 1 Peter 5 next time. Until then, thanks so much for joining. Have a wonderful day.